Hello, my dear learning enthusiasts. Welcome to CareerClimbers. In this video, I'm going to explain you what, why, and how of newspaper reading. As many aspirants, they find it difficult to complete 15 to 16 pages of newspaper on daily basis. Some find it burdensome because of the complex language used in the newspaper, whereas some other find it tiresome because it takes more time to complete the newspaper. So I'm going to dispel all the myths surrounded to the newspaper reading, and I'm going to explain you the significance of newspaper reading for the civil services examination and the state services exams. Coming to the why part, why to read newspapers. Newspapers are the reliable sources of information. At least if you read the established newspapers like Hindu, Indian Express, or Economic Times, so these newspapers provide you reliable and accurate information, especially as we are living in the age of misinformation and fake news. So we have to rely on the credible sources for the sake of our information. Second, newspaper reading is quintessential for the civil services examination aspirants, because tomorrow you are going to become bureaucrats. You should understand the problems being faced by the society. You should understand the contemporary situation. You should understand the current events which are happening at the national level and at the international level. This is clearly mentioned in your syllabus, the current events of national and international events. So if you read newspaper, it will foster your critical thinking also. For instance, if you read editorials, there many experts, they provide you arguments pertaining to particular topic. So cutting across cutting across the political lines and cutting across the professions, several experts, they will put forth their arguments through editorials. So it would give you critical thinking. It will help you in opinion formation. That's why you should read newspapers. So apart from that, newspaper is also helpful for other people also. Whether you are preparing for the civil services examination or not, if you want to become a responsible voter, if you want to become a responsible citizen, you should understand the socio-political and economic issues of the country. So newspaper, it gives exposure to the diverse viewpoints. For instance, today you are reading editorial written by Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. Tomorrow you may read the editorial written by Dr. Shashi Tharoor. So in this way, these newspapers give you exposure to the diverse opinions. So these are all the benefits which comes from reading newspaper. So while reading newspaper, what to extract from the newspaper? This doubt haunts many students. How to read newspaper and what to extract from the newspapers. So in order to understand this, you should know the syllabus. In the syllabus, the events of national and international importance is mentioned. So you should go through the prelim syllabus and main syllabus. Then you will come to know what to extract from the newspapers. Apart from that, you should do the profound analysis of the previous year question papers. For example, in the preliminary examination, they will ask you, recently government has done cheetah relocation project, right? So you may get information about the national park in which these cheetahs were relocated and what is the protection status of the cheetahs. Or for instance, if any sari or if any commodity gets GI tag, even that will come in the newspaper. If Prime Minister mentions about birth anniversary or the death anniversary of Birsa Munda, then that will become part of your syllabus. So basically, the socio, political, and economic issues which are broad in nature, so you need to pick those issues. For instance, now uniform civil code, we are debating about it, as law commission, 22nd law commission asked the government to explore the implementation of the uniform civil code. So ऐसा तो नहीं है कि यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड हम पहली बार सुन रहे हैं, बट हाउएवर फॉर एग्जांपल आप 2023 में अभी मेंस लिख रहे हैं, सो ऑटोमेटिकली जस्ट बिफोर 1 month 2 months of your examination, this law commission's recommendation triggered the debate. It became political controversy. So automatically you need to track such issues. You need to consider those issues as important for your examination, like UCC. And now recently we have seen the role of governor. It was also triggered a political controversy. So in this way, you need to list out the issues which are important for the exam. So आप list out तभी कर पाओगे when you are thoroughly reading newspapers. So whatever the government policies, Supreme Court judgments, RBI governor's observations, or if any major issue happens in the international relations, so these things you need to extract from the newspaper. These days UPSC is also giving sports related issues also, so you need to cover the sports related data also. So apart from that, the heart and soul of newspaper is editorials and op-ed columns. So editorials and op-ed columns, so basically these editorials and oped columns, it will help you in your opinion formation. It will foster critical thinking. You are not going to think in an unidirectional way if you start read the editorials and oped columns. So these are all the things you need to extract from the newspaper. So once if you start reading the newspaper, gradually you will come to know what to pick and what to exclude. But for the sake of understanding, I explained you the broad things which you need to extract from the newspapers. Coming to how to read newspapers, so initially you should start with the main page. So the main page is crucial. So just go through the main paper initially, later go through national issues. So local issues sometimes you just have to go through in a superficial manner, but if you are going for the interview, automatically these local issues also becomes important for you. And after that, the business page of Hindu. Here you need not to bother about day-to-day developments of the stock market or something, but however, if any drastic change happens in the stock market, that becomes important for your exam. Okay, so and after that, when it comes to the international relations, so in the international relations, if Modi ji was offered pani puri by someone, if Modi ji was offered a tea by someone, by the US president, that's not important for you. So until unless if they sign any major memorandum of understanding, if they sign any declarations, significant declarations, so that will become important as far as IR is concerned. So there you need to read IR. So basically after that, sports. So in sports, if any major events happen, so you should go through those sports events also, as UPSC started giving sports issues also. You are aware of the fact that UPSC is the exam which is evolving in nature. This is the exam which is known for its unpredictability. So you need to have a deeper understanding of the contemporary issues which are happening day in and day out. So coming to the part which whether we have to make notes from the newspapers or not. This doubt, many aspirants telegrammed me and they WhatsApped me and they asked me, sir, whether we have to make notes from the newspaper or not. If at all, if we have to make notes, how to make notes. So these are all the doubts many aspirants may have. So coming to the note making of the newspapers, you just have to look at the issues instead of news, merely news. For instance, uniform civil code. So uniform civil code, it became once again political controversy after when law commission recommended or explored, when law commission asked the government to explore the implementation of UCC. But आपको क्या करना है, यूसीसी के ऊपर इन ए मंथ 5 to 6 editorials आ सकता है. So you need to add upon the points of the uniform civil code, whenever you come across the new point, so you should add those new points to the same topic, which you have prepared the notes. So basically what I mean to say is, instead of bothering about the news, rather focus on the whole issue. So basically issue based note making would help you in the mains preparation, and at the same time it would help you in the interview stage also. So apart from that, what to write in your notes? So the opening lines of the editorials or the concluding lines of the editorials, these lines you can make use of these lines in your essay or in your ethics. So where creativity can be used in these newspapers. So the opening lines and the concluding lines of the editorials, and again issue based note making. Issue based note making is basically advisable. And coming to the this aspect, which newspaper one should read? Usually the civil services aspirants, they read Indian Express and the Hindu. So both these two newspapers are old newspapers, credible newspapers, and these are well established newspapers. So that's why the subscription rate of these newspapers is also good when it comes to the civil services aspirants is concerned. So you can either refer Indian Express or the Hindu. When it comes to the Indian Express, if you are reading 2 newspapers in a day, as far as Indian Express is concerned, you can you have to read the explained part of the Indian Express. Coming to this aspect, whether one has to rely only on the newspaper or one has to rely only on the magazine. So this doubt you may have, but I would suggest you to read both newspaper as well as magazine. So newspaper, if you read daily newspaper, so automatically you will develop that organic link as far as issue is concerned. For instance, if there is a same-sex marriage, if there is an issue called same-sex marriage, so here, if you read newspapers regularly, you will come to know what Supreme Court has said, what is the government stand, what is the stand of NGOs, what is the stand of various religious groups. So you will come to know this organic link if you read the newspapers. So apart from that, newspapers enrich your vocabulary, and newspapers will also enhance the proficiency of your language. Newspaper reading is also helpful in improving your comprehending skills also. So apart from that, your English would develop unconsciously, subconsciously, your English would be developed. So automatically your writing skills would also get improved if you read newspaper on the regular basis. Coming to the magazine. So coming to the magazine, yes, magazine, it was prepared by a bunch of people who are working for the coaching center. So sometimes whatever you may consider important may not be considered important by some other person. You must have missed some issue and that must have been covered in the magazine. So that's why I would say covering magazine is also helpful. So daily, how much time one has to invest when it comes to the newspaper reading is concerned. So initially, the aspirant may take 2 hours or 3 hours also. But however, if you are reading the newspaper gradually, so automatically the time consumption would come down. So ideally, you have to take 30 to 40 minutes if you are reading newspaper for almost an year. So coming to the magazine, so you can refer any compilations of any coaching centers, reputed coaching centers, or you can refer the magazines which are being released by them. So I would suggest you to read the both. So when it comes to the magazine, so you should prepare 10 to 15 pages of notes from the magazine. You can explore that also, or else you can prepare in the Evernote. In the Evernote, you can prepare notes so that it would be handy for you to take printouts also. So I hope I have addressed all your doubts concerning to the newspaper reading and the importance and significance of reading I have explained in this video. If you have any doubts, please write in the comment section. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, like and subscribe our channel for receiving further updates. Thank you.